Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing my monthly review for this month's issue of the Walking Dead comic book series. This is for issue number 170. It's called On the Road. And spoiler warning, if you guys have not read this issue yet for the Walking Dead comic book series, this one hit on Wednesday, which was August 2nd, 2017. Finally getting around to doing the review now for you guys. Sorry for the wait. Like I said in my previous video, I had to go to the dentist, so I didn't have time before work to get the review done as usual, but definitely want to do it now. It's not because this wasn't an awesome issue. Pretty much every issue of the Walking Dead is awesome, or at least majority of them. There's a few here and there, but for the most part, they're all great. So this month's issue definitely does not disappoint. We got a lot of different progress happening in different locations now, of course, with The Walking Dead having a much bigger character set, a bigger palette to work with, and more locations, different things happening in different spots. And I feel like this issue had a really nice mix, as do most issues now of The Walking Dead. We start things off, issue 170. We got the cover On the Road. We can see, let's see, Magna. We've got Siddiq. We've got Michonne. We've got Eugene. We've got Yumiko. And they're heading out on the road north, it seems. North, King of the North. To meet with... We'll see. To meet with, this group that Eugene has been communicating with, and we're going to have to wait and see what they're all about and what they're like. They could be heading into a trap, or they could be heading into, a great start to a new community to be adding to The Walking Dead, which is very cool. So I'll keep the predictions aside. We see them heading out. We've got Yumiko being excited, and it triggers Michonne, which I like. She gets upset by it. It kind of reminded me of some of the stuff they do in anime, where they got like the trigger emotions and stuff like that when you see her, because she's worried, of course, because Yumiko kind of just jinxed it, saying that she was really excited to go and that she's happy to. She's never been this far exploring north before, and she's happy to see this, and it upsets Michonne, because Michonne's like, oh no, this is how it goes, right? Somebody's excited to go, and then next thing you know, someone either gets bitten by a zombie or gets their head chopped off or shot or something. So I really like that. I thought that was really funny and very tongue-in-cheek, because, of course, I mean, that's so true, right, for The Walking Dead. It's like, how many times does somebody telegraph their own death by being, like, really happy and, like, everything going really well, and the next thing you know, they get killed off. So I really like that. I thought that was a really nice one from Michonne. We've got Rick wanting Jesus to keep an eye on Dwight, which makes a lot of sense after Dwight having threatened Rick just recently, and we get to see a little bit more of that. We've got Annie, who wants Rick to check on Mikey, because Mikey is going through a lot, having lost both his parents now, and feeling very alone. And what is a very sad scene later on, where Rick just basically meets with him, consoles him, and he says that he misses his mom, as Rick kind of hugs him as they both cry, which was... a really sad scene. I think even though it was only like one page, it really sent home that emotional note that The Walking Dead can be very sad sometimes, because, of course, you do have so many characters being killed off consistently all the time, and everybody's lost somebody throughout the series at this point. You have Rick just recently losing, spoiler warning, Andrea, and so of course Rick crying as well too, feeling the same kind of way that Mikey is feeling, that it's really hard to keep people around, and seeing your loved ones die is always hard, and for readers, I think too, it always is kind of emotional for us to see characters, like that crying and feeling that way, because we feel like we're on that journey with them as we read through 170 issues. We feel like we're right there with them, getting to experience this snapshot of their life after the zombie apocalypse starts, and really sad stuff. We've got Brianna and Maggie, who Maggie, of course, is distracted because she sent Dante after Negan, and Brianna's like talking to her a whole bunch about stuff and constantly trying to set her up with Dante, which I find to be annoying at this point. I don't like it. It kind of makes Brianna like one of those annoying characters. She's on the good guy side, but I don't want to say like she's not a villain, but she's an annoying good guy. She's an annoying, part of that, because she keeps trying to set Maggie up with Dante, and Maggie's just not at all interested. And so then we have her thinking, and, of course, getting to see this as well, too, that Maggie's thinking about Glenn. You just know at that very minute she's thinking about Glenn and the possibility of getting revenge on Negan. What would it look like? Would Rick be upset if he finds out? Would she be able to do it without getting caught? I would think that Maggie's not going to be able to let this go no matter what Rick says to her. No matter what, I think that she's going to want Negan dead. It's just all there is to it, and she has the power to make it happen now. So it's really exciting stuff to see what happens. Then we get to see Negan, which is always fun. It's hilarious to me. Like, you can see, okay, how many times have we seen characters killing zombies in The Walking Dead? I mean, it's something that's been happening for 170 issues now. The TV series, zombie movies, you see zombies getting killed. But for some reason, when you see Negan do it, it just keeps it fresh. It's just always so fresh. So his first kill is with a knife. He says, "Eat knife, you smelly fucking fuck." And then the next one he says, "Try to fucking eat me. You get piping hot buttered blade instead, fresh from Mama Negan's motherfucking death kitchen of death." And then he says, "Gotta save this stuff when people are around." It's just so ridiculous, so funny. Even watching Negan kill zombies is fun. It's basically what it comes down to. So happy that he's still around for now. We'll have to see how much longer he actually lives. Maybe that's a topic for a video. Do we think, how much longer do we think Negan can last? I'll try to do without spoilers, though. Maybe something like, when will Negan die? We'll call it something like that. So there's that part. You've got Dante who's just kind of watching him, you get kind of like that cool kind of feel like he's being stalked, that kind of thing. Dante watching him from afar. And I also wonder if Negan has noticed that he's being followed yet. Because Negan, as crazy as he is, he's actually very tactically smart, I want to say. Like, he's pretty smart. There's not a lot of times people get one up on him, and I wouldn't be surprised if he kind of knows something's up, or he kind of hears something, because it doesn't seem like Dante's that far away, and a zombie apocalypse would be pretty quiet. If you're on horseback, I mean, it would not surprise me. So we'll see what happens. But he goes to Lucille's gravesite later, not the bat. He says, "I missed you so much. I know I'm pathetic. I know you're just splintered pieces of wood, but you're all I have." And he cries. And I also thought that was kind of a sad scene as well too, even though really it is just a bat. So yeah, but it's not just a bat. It is just a bat, but it's not just a bat, right? So it's what it is. So I loved all that stuff in this issue as well, too. We've got, let's see, Dwight and Laura's conversation. So Laura, we get the sense that Laura likes, Rick. She doesn't, of course, like Negan. In this one, Dwight refers to them as basically being the same. She says you shouldn't have threatened Rick. He says that Rick and Negan, they're no different. Rick has killed Sherry. Of course, him and Sherry go way back, even though they're not currently together. It's still a part of Dwight's life. She's a huge part, one of the biggest people in his life for their relationship and the things that were happening earlier on with the Saviors. So for sure, he's kind of in this state right now where he's blaming Rick, because even though Negan did some stuff, he didn't kill her, right? And she attacks Rick. She tries to kill Rick. Rick defends himself. But he doesn't really get to see any of that. He doesn't know that for sure. So I like this one a lot, that we can see tension starting to boil between Dwight and Rick. And it doesn't seem to be getting better, even though Laura tries to talk him out of it. You've got Jesus watching him, who at this point now it sounds like Jesus is gonna leave, is gonna move on. He's not gonna stay and keep watching Dwight all the time. He thinks it's okay. But we get the sense that maybe it's not okay. So this is going to be exciting to see what happens and to see what Dwight decides to do here. Because, of course, we know that Dwight can change sides very quickly. Although right now there is no antagonist or other side versus Rick, unless he decides to start one on his own, try to take over the group or something. Which I don't think will work. So then we've got, the scene with Rick and Mikey, or the page with Rick and Mikey, him consoling him. We've got Michonne and the group leaving their territory. They also get attacked in the night, which is a little exciting, but it's like, that's kind of normal, commonplace, going for a walk type of thing in a zombie apocalypse. It's just, you're going to have zombies sneak up on you in the dark. Siddiq doesn't see them, and they attack, and then they're able to fight them off. With Eugene kind of helping. There's a critical point here, too, where he helps Siddiq and the others, and Siddiq starts to feel even more guilty because Eugene kind of saved him here, or saved his life here. We've got Yumiko and Magna, hooking up. I didn't know they were together. Did we know they were together? I don't think we knew they were together. We may have thought possibly Magna could be, because she's like kind of, I don't want to say butchy, but she's like, a really strong female, so they might think that she might swing that way. In this one, we kind of get confirmation that she does, although we might have had it already, and maybe I just don't remember at this point. So much Walking Dead content, sometimes I forget stuff. And then we've got, so the zombies showing up, and then we finish things off with a super sweet reveal at the end of the issue, which, like I said, spoiler warning, Siddiq feeling guilty because Eugene's kind of protecting him and taking care of him, and Eugene presses him, wants to know what's going on, what's happening, why is he feeling this way, or what's going on here. And Siddiq says, it's Rosita. As he's crying, and then he says, she loved me. And then Eugene just gives him the stare face, like, oh, fuck you, motherfucker. I'm gonna fucking kill you. I just saved your life. I'm gonna fucking kill you. So that was a great ending to the issue for sure. It came out of nowhere. I didn't see that coming at all, and it was an awesome reveal because we never knew who the other guy was, right? I talk, George A. Romero's criticism of The Walking Dead is like a soap opera with zombies. It's hard to debate that at the end of this issue, right? Days of Our Dead Lives, right? So we find out that Siddiq was the other guy, so you can see that on how many soap operas, right? So that's true. But at the same time, though, it's a zombie apocalypse. There's not a lot to do. And, we know about Rosita's backstory now and her background from the TV series, and we can infer that some of that is somewhat similar in the Walking Dead comics. So, can you blame the guy? I don't know, that Eugene is just giving him a death stare. So we'll see what happens. Something might accidentally happen to Siddiq here on this little trip with Eugene. I would not be surprised if we got a 18 miles out type of situation. So let's see what happens in the next issue, 171. But I love this reveal. I thought it was great. And it kind of came out of nowhere, kind of hit me out of left field, because I was in the same boat as Eugene, where we're like trying to understand like what's going on with him, and then he just says it because he feels even more guilty now, and he's like there with Eugene, and Eugene had just helped him, and it's like, oh man. And what happened to Rosita before, and so he, Siddiq, of course, is a little messed up from it. He's a little messed up from what happened there and the losses for him and what that would have meant. And so, you really get a Rick Shane vibe here. That's a baby and the whole bit involved. So crazy stuff. So I love the reveal at the end. I also like the shots of the city, which were really cool that they go into. I'm not sure what city that would be. I have to look up a map online and see where they would have went north of where they were. But it was cool to see them go into the city, and nice splash pages and everything, really nice. Great artwork from Charlie Adlard. But then to see it empty was, I thought, really cool as well, too, because it shows how much the world has changed. As Eugene said, heavily populated areas, the zombies would eventually kind of travel outward. They would leave unless there's some that are stuck or something. The others that could roam would probably leave the city. So that was cool, or the cities. So that's pretty cool. So they may even want to consider at some point setting up a base in one of these types of cities or something. Because if you think about it in terms of structure and in terms of defense, to have like a skyscraper or something like that, or a good-sized couple of buildings or something you could block off or something would be really cool to set up, and it might be more secure than something like an Alexandria or something like that where you just have kind of the walls. Place in the city with leverage, with height, art of war, right? Having the high ground. It might be something they might want to consider. So that's kind of cool. So I like to see that look too. So another great issue of The Walking Dead. Every issue of The Walking Dead, you guys know. I always say, I repeat myself all the time. But 9.2 out of 10 for me. Love the reveal at the end. Great drama in this issue, and a great mix, a really good mix. I think Kirkman has hit his stride 100%, and he mixes in all these different, characters, storylines, different things happening at the same time. That's what's going to keep the series going, over 200 issues, is to have all these different things happening rather than just one core, group with storyline, and then that's it. He's really expanded this world, and, I'm just kind of reflecting because of the 100 episodes thing the other day. But, yeah, man, really, really love the issue. So write your comments below. Let me know what you guys thought about this issue and the big reveal at the end. How do you feel about it, of course, because of what happened there with the Whispers. And if you like this video, please thumb it up below. You can also share and favorite. And if you're new and you want to subscribe to the channel, I'd appreciate it. You can subscribe at the bottom left. And if you guys want to see a predictions video after this one, then let me know in the comments. We could do one. Or maybe a Q&A after this. Maybe we should do a comic book Q&A, because we haven't done one of those for a while. So, we'll discuss it, and let's do what you guys want. So rate those comments. Let me know what direction to go, and I'll go in that direction. That's it for this video, guys. We'll see you again soon for another. As always, it's Trev, and I'm saying peace. Later, guys. See ya.